What it do, what it be, it is the one and only T Diamond. And you are watching First Impressions because the first impression is always the most important, and that's a double entendre for that ass. Alrighty. We are watching the top 10 punishments you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. Okay? Let's get into the video.
Hey Top 10 fam, what is up? Welcome back. This video is filled with some of the most horrible things I've ever heard about in my whole entire life. So
what is that? You know what? I'm not even gonna hold you. That shit looks like a bomb ass massage. Like if it didn't look like, if it wasn't supposed to impale you, like just imagine it was like the little things that are in the massage chair, and you just get on that bitch and it just be like oh my god. Never mind. Continue.
Part 1 wasn't enough, so part 2 has got to do, and I took a lot of your suggestions, so stick around and see if they made it. From terrible to even more terrible, on today's top 10 list, we are going to be covering part 2 of the top 10 punishments in history you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. I'm your host today, Olivia.
Depends on who your worst enemy is. What did I say? Because she about to say her name. Hold on. Kosolovsky. Bet right now in the comments if I'm right. How much you want to bet?
I'm scared.
Damn it. All right, hold on. What'd she say?
Kozlovsky,
shit.
Let's get right into it. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have the blood eagle. This messed up thing was a ritual method of execution that was detailed in late skaldic poetry. In the 2 instances where this horrible punishment was mentioned, the victims, who both happened to be members of the royal family, were placed in the prone position. So, laying flat on their tummies, they had their ribs severed from their spine using a sharp tool, and then they...
Wait, I'm trying to picture that. My ribs severed from my spine. First of all, my ribs are connected to my spine. Because when I think of ribs, like I'm up here with it. You know, I'm not thinking back here. But I guess so, huh? They sure are back there. I guess where else are they connected to? Okay, I'm sorry. Damn, my ribs disconnected from my spine. I want my baby back. All right. Continue.
Their lungs pulled out through the opening to create a sort of super messed up, really scary and terrifying pair of...
I'm sorry. If y'all have ever seen Midsummer, that's one of my favorite movies. But Midsummer is a Ari Aster film or whatever. I think they did that in Midsummer. There was the first couple was like an Indian girl and I think it was a black dude or whatever, and they went missing, and then the black guy ended up being hung from like something, and he was still alive, but like his lungs were like out of his back. I ain't never seen that before, but I think that's what she's talking about. Sorry if I ruined that for you if you've never seen Midsummer. And if you have not seen Midsummer, go watch Midsummer, but I'm just letting you know it's very messed up. It's like it's different. It's different, okay? But we're going to continue.
Wings? Both instances where this insane punishment is said to have happened, the person was being punished for patricide or for killing their own father. So I guess don't do that? I'm not sure what the takeaway from this one is other than, wow, that sounds horrible. I'm glad we don't do that anymore. I really love my dad. In our number 9 spot today, we have the pair of anguish.
I know a few of y'all felt me.
Regular pairs all that much, but this one definitely sounds like the worst pair probably ever. Like even worse than the one that's got brown spots all over it. The pair of anguish was also known as the choke pair or mouth pair, and I wish we could just stop here and I could let you use your own weird imagination, but we'll keep moseying on through. This torture machine consisted of a metal body that was obviously shaped like a pear normally, but it was divided into different segments.
I just keep thinking about Rick Ross right now. He would love this. He would love it.
And these segments could be spread apart by the simple turning of a screw. So basically this pair would be put into any kind of orifice, like the mouth, and then it would be slowly expanded, and you see where this is going. Do I need to continue? Alright, we're done number 9. Let's keep rolling along. I'm uncomfortable already. In our number 8 spot today, we have the water drip. This one, also referred to as the dripping machine, was a form of mental torture. I know some of these ones that are more psychological don't seem as bad as the horrible forms of physical punishment we've talked about, but that's not necessarily true.
No.
This punishment involved cold water, which would slowly be dripped onto a person's scalp, forehead, and face for a prolonged period of time. The pattern of the drops was irregular, and because the water was cold, it was obviously quite jarring, which would cause a person's anxiety to spike as they try and anticipate the next drip. Okay, if this one wasn't gruesome enough for you, let me add one more kind of water punishment in here for good measure.
Okay.
We also have the forced ingestion of water, which is, exactly that. Forcing someone to drink too much water that they eventually aspirate on it or die from water intoxication, which, yes, is a real thing. In our number 7 spot today, we have MAZZATELLO. This one was a method of capital punishment that was occasionally used by the Papal States for only some of the most terrible crimes, or crimes that were considered especially loathsome. Basically, the person who was being executed would be led to a scaffold that was located in the public square because they didn't have Netflix back then, so instead they just watched people die.
Hey, murder and chill, murder and chill, murder and chill. Everybody, come on, come on. Oh, it's so romantic. Look at this torture. Oh my God, red. It's the color of love. The fuck? People are crazy and insane. People are crazy and look at him. Look at him over here. Like, ooh, I can't wait. Crazy and insane.
I don't know. It was weird. I'll keep watching Nailed It in...
Sorry.
But anyway, the person would be accompanied by a priest, and then on this scaffold, there would be a coffin and a masked executioner who was dressed in all black. A prayer would be said for the soul of the condemned, and then when the time came, the executioner would swing a mallet into the air and then bring it down on the head of the prisoner. Sometimes this one blow would be enough to take their lives, and sometimes it would merely render them unconscious.
I wonder if she watched Midsummer before she made this video, because this was also in that movie. Or maybe this came out, Midsummer came out before this video. But sorry if I'm ruining Midsummer for you. But no, that's crazy. Imagine that being your job. Oh yeah, I just smash heads. Smash Head. Isn't that a band? I wonder where they got that name from. Let's move on.
Then lead to their throat being cut. None of these sound good. This one sucks so bad. I feel bad giving you guys this information. Next video, can it be like top 10 nice, cool, wonderful flowers or something like that? In our number 6 spot today, we have IMMUREMENT.
Nobody would watch
This is
that.
an unusual form of punishment, and boy, it is cruel. Maybe not quite as gruesome and gory as some of the others today, but this one would have been equally, if not more, terrifying. How am I to know? Like I said last time, how could I ever rank these in any kind of order? They're all just
No
so
bullshit.
bad. This is a form of imprisonment that is basically just when a person is sealed within an enclosure that has no exits. While this would surely be a very effective form of psychological torment, this is usually a method that resulted in death. Most instances included people being shut away in small, confined spaces such as a coffin, and the prisoner is usually left to pass away from starvation or dehydration. This form of punishment is different from being buried alive because of how the person passes away, since being buried alive usually results in asphyxiation.
I wonder how many buildings, like old medieval, like ancient, well, not even necessarily ancient. I don't know how long ago this took place. But I wonder how many like old buildings just have dead bodies behind the walls and like nobody knows. Continuing on.
Okay, guys, we're close to being halfway through. We can do it. In our number 5 spot today, we have necklacing. Suddenly, I have a desire to never wear jewelry again after learning about this one. Necklacing is a terrifying practice that involves a rubber tire and, unfortunately, a human being, obviously. The rubber tire is filled with petrol, which is then put around the victim's chest and arms and then set ablaze. Yeah, what the heck? I feel like I'm describing a terrible, scary mob sort of a movie right now, but sadly I'm just talking about things people have actually done to each other.
My dog's drinking water. Are you really that thirsty? Was this the time? Right now was the time? And you're still going. Sorry, continuing on.
In real life. I mean, I'm sure you can figure out what happens next, but it is said that this method can take up to 20 minutes for someone to pass away from, and they're just left suffering in the meantime. How horrible. Just like everything else on this list, and it only gets worse. Maybe. I don't know about worse, but it definitely doesn't get better. In our number 4 spot today, we have
I don't know,
molten metal.
Olivia.
Okay, there's gotta be a point where I draw the line, right? I guess not, because you weirdos like to hear about these horribly insane punishments, and I'm here to deliver you what you want, so let's dive right into
You know you like it, Olivia.
this whole batch of terrible.
You know you enjoy
this
it.
absolutely skin-crawling punishment was a form of capital punishment because there is absolutely no way you'd be surviving after this. While gruesome, this punishment has a fairly simple explanation. Basically, they just poured molten metal or super, super hot liquid metal down the throat of the person being executed.
The throat? The throat? That was like the last thing I thought she was going to say. To be quite honest, I thought, like, looking at this little bed of lava, I thought that, like, they were going to put the whole person in the lava or something, or they'll be laying in it and they'll pour it down on them or something, which still sucks. It's horrible. But pouring molten lava down someone's throat, that was... I'm sorry. That one got me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That one got me. Wow, I have a visual that I don't think is going to leave me now. Okay, continuing.
I'll tell you what, that'll certainly do the trick. Usually during this punishment, they would do things to ensure that your throat would be open during the pouring of the hot, hot metal. And to that I have to ask, does it matter? That pain would be excruciating no matter what. But hey, people of the past loved a horrifying spectacle, so what am I to do? In our number 3 spot today, we have impalement. This is another one that was highly requested by you guys, which makes me wonder, who have you been hanging out with? Vlad the...
No. They are the people that people are hanging out with. Not who have you been hanging out with. They are the who.
Also known as Vlad the Impaler or something? Okay, that wasn't funny, but seriously, I'm a little worried about you. Anyway, this was a popular form of punishment for a long time and was most commonly used as a response to crimes against the state, although Mr. Vlad, we just mentioned, basically just did it to everyone he didn't like, so I suppose to each their own. Impalement was a method of both torture and execution that involved slowly driving a stake or pole or spear or hook or whatever through a person in order to completely or partially perforate the torso. You can impale someone vertically or horizontally if you want to spice it up, and don't worry, it'll suck either way. In some situations, the impaled person would then be put on display for others to see. Sometimes this was used as a warning, and other times it was just because they could. Isn't history fun? Mr. G never taught me this in grade 10. In our number 2 spot today, we have drawn and quartered. All right, you guys asked for this one, and I am nothing if not a great listener, so here we go. This was a popular form of punishment and became the statutory penalty for men who were convicted of high treason in the Kingdom of England from 1352.
Of course, England.
Although this form of punishment certainly existed well before that. Basically, whoever the convicted was, they would be secured to some sort of a wooden panel and then drawn by horse to...
Look at them. They're like, hey, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yeah, cuz. Yeah. Damn, all right, here we go. Why he look like he telling a joke? Like, what's going on?
Wherever this thing was going down.
They do not look like they're about to die.
That wasn't said casually to make light of this horrible punishment. I'm just uncomfy, so I'm trying to keep it cool and casual.
Why they look like they're getting on the Batwing at Six Flags or something like that? You know the roller coasters that like that you lay down on or something? They're like, all right, here we go, y'all ready? That's what it looks like.
So, once at the place of execution, the person would then be hanged, almost to the point of losing their life, but from there they would be emasculated, for lack of a better term, disemboweled, beheaded, and then quartered or chopped into 4 pieces. Alright, And because this simply wasn't enough for some
That's what I'm
insane
saying.
reason,
What?
the pieces would then be displayed in prominent places across the country. Like, no, I don't want to see someone's upper right quadrant while I'm going for breakfast. I'll pass on that. Thank you so much, though. Internet
Upper
hunted
right
me of
quadrant.
scaphism. All right, you guys, this one is also known as the boats, or being eaten alive, or really whatever way you swing it. It absolutely sucks so badly. This is an ancient method of execution that involved putting someone sandwiched between two boats that are stacked on top of one another.
Why
From
is that
here,
funny?
they'll feed the person and cover them in milk and honey and then just leave them. From here, the substances on and in the person will fester and attract bugs and other small vermin, which will then basically eat that person who can't fend for themselves alive. Not only would
Yikes.
being eaten alive be one of the worst ways to go, but this process was incredibly lengthy and ensured the person suffered for a long time. Like, we're talking over 10 days here. And one of the
Yikes.
first written mentions of scaphism, which comes from Plutarch, while talking about the execution of Mithridates, he said, quote, "When the man is manifestly dead, the uppermost boat being taken off, they find his flesh devoured, and swarms of such noisome creatures preying upon, and, as it were, growing to his inwards. In this way, Mithridates, after suffering for 17 days, at last expired." So, yeah, anyway, if Plutarch wants to pay for my therapy after that, I think...
You know, I was literally just thinking that, like, okay, so the people who are doing these things, are they not, like, did PTSD just not exist? Like, you're inflicting this torture on someone, but then you have to then go and open it and then see all of this torture residue, and like, you don't, like, do you sleep peacefully at night? Like, I'm confused. I'm confused. Was everyone a psychopath? Like, was everyone void of a conscience? And at what point did it come back? If it ever did. I have many questions. But let's continue.
Be really grateful. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs
Good job, Olivia. Let me see if I can remember. Nope. Don't got it. All right, everybody, you have made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to, first of all, leave a comment. What was the worst one that you thought? Because it was a few in there that I was just like, that's crazy. The lungs one was crazy to me because it's like, I'm still alive. You've disconnected my spine from my ribs and took my lungs out my back. Sir, ma'am, society, please. But drop a comment below. Which one was the worst for you? Don't forget to like, please share it, and please subscribe. You know there's going to be more content on the way. You know I really love doing this. This is fun. Definitely going to see more content from your girl. All right. So y'all have a great day. Go check out the rest of the videos. And until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.